Kenseth and Kane, both in Fords, continuing to battle for 4th place.
But just back to Denny Hamlin, you know, you just think about their first 3 races. His best finish was 17th in the Daytona 500, this 11 car.
So Denny Hamlin puts his Toyota out in front of Kurt Busch by 0.6 of a second. Montoya, Kane, and Kenseth. 176 to go in the Kobalt Tools 500.
You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
The Kobalt Tools 500 on Fox is delivered by UPS, the only delivery company trusted trackside by NASCAR.
Here's your UPS race summary. Denny Hamlin, the leader, one of 7 leaders, 11 changes, 28 cars, 27 now, still on the lead lap as Jeff Gordon makes his 2nd pit stop under green in this sequence. Race summary brought to you by UPS, the only delivery company trusted trackside by NASCAR. While we were gone, Gordon made a pit stop. So did Dale Earnhardt Jr. Both talking about tire troubles. Matt?
Mike, on the previous stop, Jeff Gordon's right front tire looked pretty good, but he called in, felt he had a tire going down, and when they took the tire off the right front, about a 1-inch ribbon around the inside shoulder completely gone, and it was cut on the inside of the shoulder as well. So right front issues for Gordon.
And actually, that was not a second pit stop he had to make. He was too fast entering. Remember, one of Jeff Hammond's keys, speed on the racetrack, not pit road, so he had to do a drive-through.
39 came down pit road, too.
So Gordon was serving the penalty for being too fast in the first segment of pit road. Jeff Gordon was 12th when he made his pit stop. Dale Earnhardt Jr. had fallen to 32nd. Now Ryan Newman also stopped. Krista. Oh, Joey Logano
just cut a right front down.
Now remember, that car was heavily damaged earlier in the crash with Carl Edwards
cautious out.
and Brad Keselowski.
We don't want to kill a damn car because the tires will come get tires this time, bud.
So Logano brings out the 6th caution of the day. He'll have a lot more damage on that right front when he gets to pit road.
The camber issue is something that I'm really shocked, because these guys have gotten so good at knowing the limit, but they're just stepped over it today. Some serious damage.
Yeah, it has destroyed that hood, the fender, the nose.
Digger.
Joey had the problem earlier when Carl Edwards got sent up to him and sent him into the wall in turn 1 and 2.
Regan Smith will get the free pass. Logano was already 10 laps down as the pace car picks up Denny Hamlin. 167 laps to go.
And we anticipate that more than likely Ryan Newman, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr. may very well take advantage of the wave around here, just like Dale Earnhardt Jr. did the last time the caution failed.
Junior's getting to pit road about 5 or 6 laps too soon. That's twice now he's had to pit, and right afterwards had the caution.
The difference on this one is he's 2 laps down, so the wave around will bring him back to just 1 lap down in the case of Dale Jr.
That tire was absolutely destroyed. So she'll be feeding time on pit road for all the other lead lap cars.
This time it's Denny Hamlin who leads them on to pit road at lap 158. Here's Matt.
Kane in 4th. They're going to push a spring rubber in the right rear. He couldn't run the bottom like he wanted to the last run because the car was too free, Dick.
All day long. His problem is that as a run goes on, he loses forward grip. They're going to try to fix that. Krista.
Denny Hamlin said this run, the start is better, not getting off of the corner as good as he wants, but better. Steve?
Kurt Busch says, I'm loose off. You got to tighten me up. I need help with the left rear. They're going to reverse an air pressure adjustment, put a little wedge in the left rear of that 2 car.
Hamlin and Busch off pit road, but Killer Bees pick up a spot for Matt Kenseth.
48 car loses 2 spots, as well as Casey Kane losing 1 spot.
I think they're adjusting on that 48 car. It's what's slowing them down a little bit.
So as they clean up from Logano losing that tire, let's go downstairs to Chris for an AT&T race break.
Thanks, Mike. The 10th Atlanta Sprint Cup race for Denny Hamlin. His best finish third and currently the leader. Remember, after he complained a little bit about the Toyota engines compared to Chevy. More on that in a moment. Dale Earnhardt Jr., your pole sitter, with chronicled his problems with the loose wheel, has never led as high as 6th when he went out for problems. Here, Brad Keselowski bumps into Carl Edwards, and then Joey Logano was affected, so Carl Edwards out of the race. Here are some of those problems for Dale Earnhardt Jr. as they examine the tire. We've counted at least 7 different drivers who've had some tire issues in the race. Mark Martin, one of those.
Including him, you see here, left rear tire comes loose in him. He spins out and around away he goes.
And Jeff, our most recent caution, Joey Logano here, 6th caution.
One of the guys that got in the wall earlier with the right side. You see he had damage to the right front, blew that right front tire, and basically totaled out the right side of the car.
When you talk about conserving your tires, how do you do that? Try to go out and win a race.
Again, you have to pace yourself. You've got to feel what the car is doing, and you feel like you're leaning on the tire a little too much. You need to maybe change your line, your entry, or the way you attack it. And sometimes that's very difficult to do. Very rough racetrack, but we're seeing a lot, I think, attrition because of that, including this 88 car. They felt some things, and they haven't found them, but they've been able to get on pit road. But each time they stop, somebody else has problems, and they wind up going down more laps.
Larry McReynolds pointed out earlier there's more rubber being laid down on the track. We know about the abrasive surface. So how does that change maybe the position of where drivers can go?
Well, you have to just kind of search around. We always talk about, you see guys like Tony Stewart who normally runs the bottom of the racetrack. Now he's running the top of the racetrack. It's just depending on what your car is asking for. Beautiful thing about Atlanta, you can pick and choose for low, middle, or the top. And also at the top of the racetrack, Chris, I've seen a lot of what we call the marbles. As they start to clean up around the racetrack, they're going to try to get some of that. There's a vacuuming truck around that top groove trying to get some of that rubber off that top groove so they can go back or closer to the wall.
You don't want to lose your marbles. I know that's something you worry about.
Working with you has that problem.
Real quick, though, Denny Hamlin said it was in his USA Today diary about, I think Toyota is behind on their motors. Of course, the head of Toyota Racing Development didn't agree because he was talking about Chevys. They won all 3 races. They've been dominating. I know we got a long way to go in this race. Do you see Toyota, the thing's a little bit different than what Denny was talking about here?
Denny looks to me like his car is working really well through the corners, and that makes him look like he's got better horsepower. Good handling race car here today is one that's going to get you to victory lane. You may have better horsepower than somebody else, but if your car's not handling and keeping the tires up underneath it, you will not win this race.
Good competition up front, so it's not been all Chevy. Kurt Busch and his Dodge has led the most laps at 65. And text your opinion on who you think should win the AT&T Fastest Pit Crew of the Year award. Points are awarded for the fastest pit times. Jeff will select the winner. And it is delivered by AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. So we've got 7 leaders, 13 lead changes under our 6th caution. We'll get ready to go green here in Atlanta in just a moment.